Well, hello. How's it going? Um, I've never actually done this before, but I thought I'd give a crack at making a motivational slash self-help video for all of you out there. My name is Daniel. I'm 28 years old, 6'2", brown eyes, brown hair. Okay. Something I've been struggling with lately is seeking the approval of other people. Not an entirely wise endeavor, I assure you. It can be very dangerous when we live our lives seeking the approval of other people, searching for that validation to enhance the quality of our lives. Really, at least in my experience, this isn't required. You don't need people to smile at you every day, or to tell you how good you look, or to even converse with you. You don't need those things to feel good about yourself. Because feeling good about yourself comes from within. Potentially a cliche, but it's a very true one. And there are reasons for it, which I am going to tell you, whether you like it or not. First of all, do you ever notice how, in reality, that you feel things about things? So, for example, you see something you really like in a shopping window, and you feel good about that thing. Where does those feelings come from? You see, a lot of the issues in our world come from people who rely on the external circumstances to dictate the quality of their lives. But really, obviously, it's how we feel about them that dictates the quality of our lives. It's how we feel about reality as we know it. What's an example? So, we'll go back to the shop window. Okay, you see something in the shop window you really, really like. And the reason you like it is because of how you feel about it. This small example can be broadened into our entire lives because you feel it. Doesn't matter what you're seeing through your mind creating reality, you still feel it. That is how you feel. It is coming from inside you. And that's the nature of reality to a human being. It's how you feel about it. So, okay, I'll use a bad example. Say you parked in a car parking lot and someone drove in next to you, parked too close, and scratched your car. The conditioned response to that would be you get angry, or you get upset, or you get worried, or you feel disenfranchised somehow or inconvenienced. That's because of how you feel about it, not because of the actual event. This is where we need to create a separation. How you feel about something and what actually happened. Because these things can get misinterpreted all the time. And I'm coming back to now seeking approval. So say someone didn't look at you, that usually comes over and speaks to you. One day they just walk past you and they don't acknowledge you. Why does that bother you? Or say if someone seems a bit off and usually they're very vivacious and very passionate in their conversations with you, and say one day they're just not feeling up to it for whatever their circumstances. And that's when you can second guess yourself because you think there's something wrong with you, because you're trying to seek approval from other people. If that's where your intention lies, then you're setting yourself up for all kinds of sufferings. I know. When I was growing up in high school, it wasn't easy. I was always in the trap of seeking approval from other people, making my high school years miserable. Even now I feel it every day, even at work, even on the street, even in my normal interactions with people, I feel the same thing. If someone is slightly off towards me, it can just send me into a tailspin, and this is where we need to stop. Because it's not because of what's happening with the other person, it's because of how you feel about it. And how you feel and what your feelings are is something that you have control over. Now, because of however way we're brought up, we have conditioned responses to certain things. It may take a little bit of time to go through those and to try and understand why we feel the way we feel about reality. But ultimately, our feelings will dictate the quality of our lives and our realities. And once you have those feelings under control, then you don't need to seek the approval of other people anymore. Because what does it matter? What does it matter if you're already feeling good about reality? And you know what? If you feel good about reality, it'll come through your personality and people will gravitate towards you anyway. Like, we take so much for granted when it comes to how the brain works. Yes, we have our immediate consciousness and the 5 senses, but we also have other senses in our brain that can detect other things. That's why, maybe without talking to someone, you can kind of tell how they feel. Something in your subconscious picks it up. And really, I think it's 6% of the content of what you say is communication. I think a lot of it's body language. And the body follows the mind. So if the mind's in a state of disarray, then that'll come through your body language. And people will be able to tell. So if you've come to terms with how you feel about reality, and you're nice and relaxed, it's going to come through. And you won't need the approval of other people. I mean, you can be open to receive affection and friendship and all other kinds of relationships from other people. But the need for approval will be gone because you've dealt with the feelings inside you that yearn for that attention. I am Daniel, and this is my first video. This wasn't scripted, by the way, so I'm just kind of pulling this out of my head as I go. But I hope it makes sense. Alright, night.